Alright, so this is AMATS question 13. Okay, so we are required to simplify everything, right? Okay, so first thing first, I denote every bracket with color. Okay, so you look at the red color bracket, right? You'll notice there's a secant theta minus cosine theta. Okay, so I will do my expansion. But before I do my expansion, maybe I change this secant theta to in terms of 1 over cosine theta. Okay, then after that, this one also change. Okay, and why do I change is because I will need to do a bit of cancellation. Okay, and you notice that for the purple color bracket, right, this is sine, so this is 1 over sine theta. So likewise for the green color bracket, this is tangent theta, this is 1 over tangent theta. So they purposely set in this way so that later we can cancel. Alright, okay, so let's do the red bracket first. Okay, so I do my I just put here, so 1 over cosine theta minus cosine theta. Okay, bracket 1 over cosine theta minus cosine theta. So I do my expansion, you should get so the first rainbow should be 1 over cosine square theta. Then after that, second rainbow, so that's where the cancellation is. So 1 over cosine theta times minus cosine theta, you should get minus 1. Okay, then after that, minus cosine theta times 1 cosine theta is minus 1. Then last but not least, plus cosine square theta. Alright, okay, so now I do a bit of manipulation. You should get roughly cosine square theta plus 1 over cosine square theta minus 2. Alright, so this is the first part. Okay, now I move on to the second part. So second part is quite similar to the first part, right? So 1 sine theta minus sine theta square, bracket square. So of course, if you do your expansion, you should get something like this. So 1 over sine theta minus sine theta, right? Okay, bracket 1 over sine theta minus sine theta. Okay, so let's do the expansion. So 1 sine square theta. Okay, then after that, this is where the cancellation is, minus 1. And last, the third part, minus 1. Last part, plus sine square theta. Alright, so of course I do a bit of manipulation. I should get sine square theta plus 1 over sine square theta. Then after that, minus 2. Okay, so the second part done, right? Okay, I move on to the green color part, which is the tangent. Okay, so tangent, maybe I ignore the minus sign right here first. I just do my expansion. So 1 over tangent theta minus tangent theta bracket square. Okay, so let's do tangent theta minus tangent theta. Okay, putting bracket square. Okay, so let's expand. So I'll do a quick one. 1 over tangent square theta. Alright, then minus 1 is minus 2, right? Then plus tangent square theta. Okay, yeah, so after that, all the 3 expansion is done already. I put them together, right? Okay, so just take note of the sign, okay, because the sign makes a big difference. So the first is cosine square theta plus 1 over cosine square theta minus 2. So it's cosine square theta plus 1 over cosine square theta minus 2. Then the second part is plus this, right? Sine square theta plus 1 over sine square theta, something like that. So okay, minus 2. Okay, then the last part need to be careful because of this minus sign. So I want to minus the whole of this green color expansion. Alright, so maybe I just put a minus sign first. Minus 1 tangent square. Okay, minus 2 plus tangent square theta. Okay, I put a bracket. Okay, so now I remove the bracket, so everything flip the sign, right, for the green color. So this minus, then this one is plus, and now is minus, right? Okay, so after that, let's do our simplification. So you notice that, I can use my first identity, right? So cosine square plus sine square is equal to 1, right? So I just write 1 first. Okay, then after that, plus 1 over cosine square theta minus 2. And of course, plus 1 over sine square theta minus 2. Okay, then after that, let's put the green color down. Plus 2 minus 1 over tangent square theta minus tangent square theta. Okay, so let's cancel anything that can be cancelled. So minus 2 plus 2, right? Cancel away. Then, okay, so of course, let's manipulate a bit first. Okay, so you notice that I have 1 cosine square theta, I have 1 sine square theta, I have 1 over sine square, tangent square theta. Okay, maybe I do, okay, let's change this tangent square theta in terms of just cosine and sine. So if you still remember, tangent theta is equal to sine over cosine, right? So when you put in this form, this is equal to cosine square theta over sine square theta. Okay, alright, so this is the form here. Okay, then after that, plus. Okay, so for this part, okay, maybe I change this also to in terms of sine and cosine. So it's sine square theta over cosine square theta. And sorry, put the wrong sign. Okay, then after that, let's manipulate further. Okay, so 1 minus 2, maybe I just put minus 1. 1 minus 2 is just negative 1, so minus 1 here. Okay, then after that, I put the 1 over cosine square theta. Then of course, let's put a plus 1 over sine square theta. Okay, alright, so now let's put down, let's add this with this. Alright, so if you look, so this is 1. Okay, so let's add 1 minus sine square, right, theta over cosine square theta. Then after that, I combine this thing with this thing. Okay, so now is plus 1 minus cosine square theta over sine square theta. Okay, then after that, of course, don't forget your minus 1 here. So let's put a minus 1 and plus. Okay, okay, now let's further manipulate. Well, it's a bit tedious, this one. Okay, minus 1. Okay, so if you look at the so-called the numerator right here, so 1 minus sine square theta, right? So this one, think of your first identity. So it's plus cosine square theta. Then after that, put a cosine square theta here. Then plus, so the purple color numerator is sine square theta, right? Divide by sine square theta. Alright, so you can see, right? So now the whole of this thing is just 1. The whole of this thing is 1. So minus 1 equal to minus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it's equal to positive 1. Right, so in this way I have simplified. Right, so it's equal to positive 1.